Hi, how are you guys? I'm Lori LaRose. I am a card maker from Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, Canada, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Have been for the past 23 years. It is Thursday, March 19th, and I'll be curious to see if some people pop on with me. I was making supper tonight. Tuesday night, I was doing a fun little technique. I'm trying to think, what did I make Tuesday? Monday, I did a really neat technique. I'm going to do another technique tonight. And I said, I'll see you Thursday. And I didn't even think anything of it because a few years ago, I was doing nightly lives. And it just sort of seemed to make sense. I was like, okay, we'll see you Thursday. And then I was doing supper and I was like, hey, wait a minute. I did mention on Tuesday that if you are keen on it, I do have a YouTube channel and you can Google. I did the ABCs of techniques this past year. And when I started that series, I did that Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. And so then I wasn't working on Thursday nights. So this is new for me. Hi, Vicki. So I'm back again tonight and maybe next week too on Thursdays. Maybe I'll go back to the 4 nights a week. I do have fun making that. I have for 23 years said the serendipity of this business, of doing the business, was that I made cards. Had an excuse to come in here, sit down and do it. I also got some of my desk cleared. That doesn't really happen. Anyways, doing a technique. Had to go and find a plate, so I was a couple seconds late. And, oh, that kind of rhymed. I'm going to do what we call the baby wipe. Yes. I think it's called baby wipe. I'm hoping. I always feel like I say it kind of a little bit wrong. But anyways, and if you're like me and you don't have baby wipes around the house per se, I am using a paper towel. The one nice thing about a baby wipe, there's just a certain cushioning that's kind of nice and kind of natural ink pad maker. And also the amount of moisture just usually seems to be about right. But I have dampened a paper towel and I'm using a plate, a glass plate, and I'm going to create an ink pad. So let's put you down and get started. How are you doing, Miss Vicki? Pop it down. And did you see that clear desk as I came through? Woo woo, hey? Okay. All right, I don't need that right this second. I probably will shortly though. So you want a glass plate. You want a slightly damp, a fairly damp. Either if you have, like I said, if you have baby wipes, it's a really nice, there's just that extra cushioning. Walking away from my thing as I'm getting a couple. You also need reinkers, which of course I did not grab. I'm using purple, and I'll maybe add in some red. If you're using purple, you want to be careful with yellow, for instance, because yellow and purple make brown really fast. I don't know why they do that so quickly. Red, I would like a little red and some pink. Fresh freesia, what do I got otherwise here? Hang on 1 second, I'll be over there and a nano blast. I'm going to put in some pink. Flirty Flamingo, I don't think so. Oh, what's this one? Calypso? No. Sorry about this, guys. Bubble bath, that's what I want. I'm going to make, I should probably have something else. Clean desk, that's great, hey? Well, it was getting a little bit crazy and I still have a few different pieces. Oh, the tractor. I still have a few things that are floating around that don't quite belong. Some of these things. Okay, so when you're doing the baby wipe, you're going to use, now I have several, really probably 3 or 4 is what you kind of want to do. I wasn't sure what I was grabbing here. I do have 2 fresh freesias, I think. I do. Does anybody need a fresh freesia? I could sell it to you. Can't really. Just teasing. Okay. I'm going to. So now you just literally, do you know the other thing that I think is kind of nice about a baby wipe? It doesn't seem to have like the wrinkles. It's just a softer thing. Now, I know that Vicky's probably being like, you should have baby wipes because I gave you packages of them. And she did. And they're probably not as far away as I'm sort of making out like they are. But I also wanted to do it on paper towel just so that people who don't have baby wipes feel comfortable and confident in giving it a try. All right, so you're going to just do a drop or 2 and around, scattered. You can come back. I'm doing that bubble bath. And then I'm going to do some berry burst, which is going to be dark. So I'm going to do And that's about a really nice moistureness. So now, if your baby wipe doesn't seem to be spreading like that, making like that nice of a spread, now I'm going to do some fresh Frisia in between kind of. Do give it a little bit of a spritz with some extra water. You're never going to go too far wrong by having, you don't want it to water down basically, but you do want it to be good. So I'll bring in the Real Red and maybe some pink on another one, because now I can probably work with an extra set over here. All right, so one of the things you need for success on a baby wipe technique is a solid ink set, stamp set rather. And I will tell you that with the focus on watercoloring and, sorry, I'm just getting some paper here. Come along. Sorry, getting white paper. With a focus on so much coloring with our blends, we have less sets. So I invite you to go ahead and pull whatever sets you have from way back when. In the old days, we had more solid sets. And so you are welcome to use, you know what might be kind of fun? I made this on the other night. I knew I didn't do a technique the other night, but this is solid sets. This might be kind of fun to see what it would look like, a rainbow with a rainbow of colors. Oh, there's a challenge for you. But yeah, so you do need a solid stamp. And like I said, there's not very many current ones right now, but if you have been stamping for a while, I'm sure you have quite a few. Flowers are kind of pretty with this. My very favorite time of the year. I did post recently, what would you like to see? And one of my girlfriends, Anne, said she'd like to see the baby wipe technique. So that's why I am doing this today, because it was requested, sort of. It was asked for, and I was like, well, if not today, when? So why not? What was I going to say? I'm not sure. Okay, so this guy there. We'll have to see what we think of doing these guys. We might do them slightly different, but we'll definitely do up some of these guys. Otherwise, doing this in the fall is my very favorite time, and I likely did this in the fall because it really is one of my favorite times to do it with the leaves. It makes beautiful, beautiful fall leaves. I'm like, do I have, again, every time I show a technique, I'm like, do I have an extra of it? Not necessarily. Okay, so now the key to it, this is the technique. This is the skill. You'd want to go basically up and down in the same area. You don't want to go all over like we often do on an ink pad per se. This one, you don't want to mix and match the colors. You want it to just have the same color. So I'm just going to go up and down in approximately the same spot. And then stamp. And then cross our fingers. Yeah. Photopolymer is a little different than our red rubber that I am used to doing, and I know that I have had great success with it, but I also sometimes am like, ugh. I could see when I was doing it, it had, see how it's pooling? And I know I don't really love that, so I'm like, rats. And it's actually because it's got too much water. So I'm just tapping a little bit lighter. I'm showing you what to do when it's not working quite the way you think it should. And it is just slightly too wet. Not with color, but the pad itself is wet. It's not that it's not going to be pretty though. It's possibly that it's still going to be quite nice. Let's try the other one. And, oh, and you know the other thing I did not do, and I should have totally. I knew I was going back to the same area. I don't know why I did that, but. And I went right back to the same area with this one too. Partly I was curious. You need to clean your stamps in between. That is a key thing. So after you stamp it, and you need to clean it. Let's try this other area and see if we get any better results. You see me varying a little tiny bit, and I don't mean to. All right, hang on a second. I'm going to fold this over. Maybe it does need more cushion. There, that's looking better. So I think some of it is a little bit drier there. I'll turn this over and just stamp it there. Nice. And I'm going to turn this over. Readjust this. So I think possibly a little bit of the cushioning, and also there might be a moisture dealio. Remember, clean in between each stamping. And hang on one second. So I'm just grabbing a bit more of something more like a baby wipe. And if I was trying to do a household item before, you'll really laugh because this is a Swiffer, and I do not think everybody would have a Swiffer. I'm going to do the same combination and see if we get any better results. This one might be resistant to even soaking in, for goodness sakes. So do maybe not use a Swiffer. And I'm going to add the freesia too. Now, this is probably how not to do this, but let's see. Should have some liquid. I did make it wet. Hang on one second. I'll just wet this. I'm going to see if I... Ooh, no. Okay, so... Let's see. You guys are like, what are you doing, Lori? It's a good question. I think I'm going to have success. Then you'll really be marveling. Ah, goodness sakes. That's funny. So a little bit of cushioning, a little less water. And I just pushed the beads in. That's what I did with the back of the dealio. Now... that's going to be good. I actually want a third one of these guys, so I'll go ahead. And now you saw that I am cleaning in between each one, so that's a plus. That one's kind of nice, so I'm going to come back over here so I don't... Ooh, that one didn't work out as good. Clean in between. Nice. Okay, so I've got 3 of those guys. I am going to give a little bit of snip around the ones that I kind of want so that I can work on the pieces of paper that I'm not using. Want not, waste not, want not, right? This guy. And I will be fussy cutting these guys in a few minutes. Oh, look how pretty these guys turned out. I know you didn't really doubt me. You had faith in me, I know. Oh, you could do this with Tori for sure. All right, so this will be some of the, what do you call it? The stems. Now, do I have one more room here for this? Yes, I do. Okay, so on this guy, it still feels kind of wet. I'm going to add a little bit of red. Oops, that was a bad drop. And a little bit of the pink. Oh, and you know what? I didn't have any pink in that other one. And I don't think that was the problem, just saying. So I like the cushion of this better. And I'm just going to push that in. Clean the stamp. Now this will be a little bit interesting. So I'm going to go up and down a couple times. Oh no, I'm not. This will be interesting because I didn't make it big enough. Let's see what it looks like and then I can make it bigger. going to look good. Now, my instinct was to be like, oh, and then I can just do it here, except that I'll clear off that as fast as I have it on, right? So you do have to have a wide enough palette, ink pad, Saria. Oops, that's a lot of red. That's good. We do want it to be reddish. And there's going to be a little tiny bit of purple on the underside at this point, so it's all going to be good. You do want it to be big enough for the stamped image that you're doing, right? Okay. All right, let's try this one more time. Just barely big enough. Up and down in the same area. And I have just enough room here for one. Oh, that's going to be jazzy. And not there, but I know I had more white here. And I want two of those guys. Remember, clean in between. And then up and down in the same area, you can move over just slightly if you know that there's spaces that you need to fill in. And I want just a little bit more purple. I kind of like that. Ooh. With a photopolymer, I would say transfer quickly, know where you're going to stamp to get the least amount of separation of the watery thing. So I will do one more just to see if I can do a better one. Yeah, that one will be fine. It's just sort of like the set that the hello cards that I made. All right, so tapping lightly instead of pounding it in. And let's see what this one does. Nice, it's fuller. Okay, so now, if I have these quite mottled, do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like I want to do the same for the stems. And I think I want them to be pink with just a little tiny bit of the red. So I'm going to bring in, I'm seeing where there's wet if you're wondering what I'm doing. And some yellow would not be a bad thing. So let's do it. Maybe I'll just do the pink and the yellow. Let's see what happens. All right, so cleaning that guy and finding my stems. And this is for you. So if your plate has edges, you need to make sure that you, so this will be interesting. I used yellow water, but it's not ink. So hang on, I'm going to grab, I don't think peach pie will look very pretty. I'm just grabbing some yellow ink because I'm positive I can stamp with it and I'll show you. I'm positive all I'll have is wet there. Oh, well, look at that. I got enough pink on there. That's kind of okay. All right, I'm going to add just a little bit of yellow. Although it looks yellow, it's not really ink, hey? It's pretty light. I do like the idea of smashing it down and spreading it kind of with the back of your... So up and down the same area. There's definitely going to be yellow on that one. Let's see what that looks like. That's too stripey. Oh, that's funny. Okay, that would be great for a barber shop. That's funny. All right. Up and down. I should smush it around a bit more. Oh my gosh, somewhere I got my fingers in something. Cleaning. Nice. Okay, that's getting better. So when you see, it's not like you're totally going at it blind. If you can see the way that you need to stamp your stuff a little bit, I'm showing you what you're supposed to do, and then you can add to the story by doing it. Like that's perfect because I actually smooshed it all over the place. The colors can be combined. So in this case, as you can see, I'm going all over because those two colors that I've used work really, really well together. And so the creation works. Does that make sense to you? So you can work within it. Just kind of curious with that philosophy. Let's go with this big guy and see if I use that craziness. Because I got all really similar colors, and I think if they mix, it won't be the end of the world. So let's see what that does when I do this. It's really beating up. I'm not happy with the way it's beating. Like I'm not really sure why it's doing that. It's not making me happy. All right, fortunately those guys all worked out great. So that's perfect. I need one more little guy. I might not end up using him, but I'll put him on here. And again, this guy works best if I'm squashing him all over the place. Just for, oopsie, I didn't push down at the bottom there. Just curious, I'm going to see if I squash this guy down, what is he going to do? He just really doesn't want to be filled up. That's okay. Pretty color combination though. I love that. All right, so I'm going to cut him out. And two of these guys. And these two. Ouch! You're like, what'd you do, Laura? Oh, I just poked myself. This is my other guy, isn't it? If I end up using all of these. All right, so that is the baby wipe. I will say, if you're using red rubber, you will find easier success because the photopolymer wants to bead your liquid, right? If you use baby wipes proper, I think you're going to have more success between the cushioning and just that right amount of dry moisture is quite nice. You want to use enough reinker, but you don't need to go crazy. That part I don't think I did incorrectly. FYI, when you're finished with this, what is kind of fun to do is to take, and I don't think I'm going to do a real background, so I'll just pretend right here. You can take this and possibly take rubber gloves, but you just take this and you can swipe it. And again, with baby wipes, it works a little better. You can either smoosh it and create a whole little background, which is quite pretty. Okay, so that can be nice. Or you can even, hang on a second, just swipe direct to ink, and you can make backgrounds with it. Okay, so once you're finished with your stamping, you can go further and create a couple background pieces as well. That makes sense, doesn't it? Here, maybe I'll make one background piece for real. So just starting and just going across. And then what I would probably suggest is where your fingers are and stuff, you probably start your piece of paper just a smidgen longer so you can just trim off those edges quite nicely, right? So there's your background piece. If you blow that with hot air, it'll dry it for you to work with, but it also will lie it flat. And if you haven't seen that happen, I just did it the other day. Perfect. You still want to let it in quite well, right? So pretty. Okay, so background, stamps, it's awesome. Okay, you guys are curious about the other one? It's the same difference. Okay, let me wipe my fingers. Yeah, they do. I think they do look great. And I think, you know what? Leaves might just be a little bit more forgiving because they already are supposed to look a little aged, maybe. Or maybe many of the sets that we were working with had that little bit of a, what do you call it on it? You know what I'm trying to say. A little bit of distressing. So it was more natural. I have made it also with snowflakes with blues. So pretty. And I did use something like the Regal Florals, and I never finished putting that card together. But you know what? It might have even been actually literally this Regal Florals. And I did these guys in, I think I had some Blackberry Bliss in there. I feel like it's in my little pile of stamped images to make into cards. These turned out really pretty. So again, baby wipes really are, I think what I say is diaper wipes, right? And that doesn't sound quite as nice as sweet little babies. So we're coming into the weekend after tomorrow. What are people up to? Do we have any plans for the first day of spring tomorrow, hey? It's ironic here in Alberta, we've had like, again, Celsius, but we've had like 18, 19 degrees the last 3 days. Not so much today. It was a little more cloudy, which sometimes can come in when it's Chinooking, but this is not actually Chinook. This is just, well, there's pretty high winds. I don't know. Anyways, it was more like 8 or 9 only today, would be my guess. I never actually looked at the temperature. And then it's just going to get colder over the weekend, and then hopefully gets warmer again, right? We can always hope. There's always hope. All right, so I'm just cutting around, fussy cutting all of these guys. There is a punch for this guy, actually. Oh, do I want him? I'm not going to. I'll cut him out another time. He's very pretty, but he's not necessary right now. And it's like... when I grow old, I will wear purple. I don't know. All right. And then these guys, this is generally for the larger one. I'm not sure. I might need to come back in with something because these guys might be too pretty for the red. One thing I will say, I don't feel like you can kind of back out altogether. I maybe will try. If you stamp... And on this guy here, I'm going to go right to the edge instead of leaving any kind of white on the top because I'm going to join him onto the mushroom. And I kind of like that the two colors just come together instead of there being a little bead of white. This might not look pretty with this. No. I'm kind of curious. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if I just stamp straight up a bubble bath, one of these guys, what he will look like. And he might not have enough color for those guys either. I was trying to go with like beige stems, you know, like for natural, but I might be wrong with my coloring. Let's see here. I like them. So that I think looks okay. And I think actually what I was testing was whether or not I could mix modeled with a solid, like a stamped, pure stamped image. And I think I can. Now, that being said, that could be another whole little guy. Now, what do we think of this? I'll just put this on here with this just to see, because I won't cut these out right now if they're not going to work, which I don't think I like that combination. So, I also don't think, well, maybe, while I have this open, do we want just solid stems? I kind of had purposely done. I think I just have to keep cutting this out. My fingers are dirty. Bad, bad, bad. So I was trying to do white around. Yeah. Okay. So I will use this guy and that guy on another card. And I'm going to cut 3 more of these guys. I like just the solid. The yellow doesn't work for me with that. What about you guys thinking? Am I right in thinking that's a little weird? And I am even maybe going to try the Freesia instead. Oh, that's bright. Let's see what that is like. Hi, Sharon. I was thinking of you today, actually, Sharon. I might pop by your house tomorrow. Are you around? You're like, what? I won't stay for long, but I'll be in your neighborhood and I've got something to give you, actually. Do you like how honest I am as I see your name? Oh, hey, hi. Okay. Ooh, I like that. I think I like that even better than the pink, but the pink might work okay on just for variation. No. Am I right? The purple works best, doesn't it? All right. And I still don't have any stems for those other guys. Oh, for goodness sakes. And I am going to use that. I do like the stem. Okay. Likewise, I like that stem, and I like those stems, just not for this game. I need to have the big stem. And, oh, wait. Am I going to use these guys with this? No, I think I really do want to use these red guys. That's going to be for a different card. Okay, hang on. You guys are like, what are you doing, Lori? Getting confused. Am I confusing you yet? I have a little bit of an idea of my layout, if that helps you. A lot of cutting. So there is a punch for these guys. I actually did not get them because of the way I stamp, basically. The punch is, it's a punch, right? And so it cuts out both pieces at the same time. And possibly one more thing. Or maybe the 2, or it only cuts 1. I think that was the bottom line for me. It only cut 1, and I needed to have more of them. Okay, and now for these red guys, that's not enough, but it's closer. I'm sure I can't do red. It's so weird because normally we would have like a beige color. So why isn't that working with this idea? And although I don't mind that one, I am bringing this guy in here. And there's a little bit of purple in here. But that really, even with that bit of purple, it's not good. Hey, Alexina, how are you doing? I'm struggling with my colors right this second. It's funny because I know for a fact we use beiges for the stems. So something neutral is good, but, well, let's go with basic beige and see what we think. Maybe on the red one, that'll be just perfect. Oh, I was going to say, and I'm not going to clean it, but it's different. I was thinking if there was a purple base to it. Let's see what this looks like. I do have to say our beige is so green. That's not working for me. So, maybe, you know what, I'm going to bring over the smoky slate. But what I was thinking was crumb cake. We'll give it a try. And then, this is drying into a nicer color. And I haven't cleaned this, so it's got a little of the greeny beige on it too. That might help. That's just more natural to me. But I'm wondering if we want this more neutral color. Hang on, a second. It's so colorful. So now am I getting hung up on realisticness? All right, I'm going to do a really weird thing here, and you guys might like it. You'll be like, what? I'm going to stamp it in there, and then I'm going to rock and roll it with the freesia. Oh, I really hit it. That might be the answer. I'm just literally playing, aren't I? You guys are like, good Lord. What are you doing, Lori? Trying to come up with the right combination. You're like, they're all going to get hit anyways. I know. Okay. I think I like this one. What do you guys think? Nice. And I know there's also a, do you put it behind or in front? And I kind of like it in front. Like I said, though, I do prefer to have very little white wherever it overlaps. Which was neat, I will say that, for the punch. It 100% the punch cut out right to the edge of these guys. So that was nice. Okay. One more time. I just need 2 of these. Cool. Okay. Now we're rocking and rolling. Let me get this cut out. Looks psychedelic. Well, they are magic mushrooms. Are they not even called that? Oh, terrific toadstools. Not magic mushrooms, Lori. Psychedelic. All right, here we go. And Betty, are you in town tomorrow still at school? Let's pop by to your place too. I've got some things to give you too. All right, here we go. Let's look how pretty. That one turned out so pretty. It just didn't go with that in my mind. Okay, let's put those guys down here and get off. Put this in the garbage and put it aside for now because maybe I don't need it anymore. Okay, so from this set, we also have a little bit of ground. That might be helpful. A little greenery and some ladybugs and another little tiny one or a wings for that guy. All right. Oh, just, yeah. Okay, there's a whole nother little guy there. Maybe I'll add that in. All right. I am thinking that I'm going to bring in a piece of blue. And from the wonderful, hi Darla, I didn't think you worked Fridays. I'll see you next week sometime. From the wonderful In the Grove that we got a couple years ago with a fun club that we started doing a bundle of the month and just playing with it 1,000 different ways. You see where I'm going with this now, hey? I can still, we already talked about that I don't travel that far. All right. And everybody knows I'm teasing, not teasing. So I could add in a little tiny bit of clouds in the background there, but let's lay these guys out and see if this even works. they're not going to be, the trees aren't going to be big enough. We have one other one of these guys that runs the other way, and that might be the better choice. Totally, I think it's going to be the better choice. I'm going to run out of room really rapidly here. So the idea is that the trees are way, way in the back, and we're just looking at the foreground of these guys, right? And after all that work, maybe I only need 3 of them. It was all about the technique, by the way, just saying. Okay, I am going to, though, because it'll drive us crazy for 100 years. Put a little dollop of glue. Right. And glue these guys on. At least I don't have to worry about the stems then, hey? Now I'm trying to think, what set has the vertical spruce trees? Anybody? Anybody? Because I feel like they might be better. And the bigger question will be, do I have it? Quiet. La 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 la. Who's gluing and having fun? Totally loving it. So fun. Okay. Now, I'm going to retreat. Oh, hang on a second. I got a whole new idea here. Cutting this at 5 1/4. 5 by 3 3/4. And I need to have some crumb cake and some green. All right, coming in here, doing a change up of games here. Now you're like, now what are you doing, Lori? Haha, just you wait and see. Let's see if this works. That's kind of bad. I never used this one before. Okay. Do. Ooh, shaving a haircut. 2 bits. Where did that come from? Okay. And I've got red rubber, so I don't need to have any foam behind me. Okay, I'm going to stamp that a couple times in the crumb cake. How many times have you walked in around your craft room and you picked up some photopolymer stamps off your feet that you picked up with your toes by accident as you're walking around barefooted? Oh, is that only me? Okay. All right, so I'm going to put one here. Oh, I went crookey-eyed, but that's okay. I'm hoping this will look like a fence a little tiny bit. It's soft. Trying to do this on top of each other. Nice. Hoorah me. Very faint. I actually really think, I've been saying this for a while, I think all of my stamps need a little bit of juice. That's going to look really good. I'm just going to go ahead and stamp this one more time right here. Nice. Okay. Now, I'm going to add a little tiny bit of blue skies. And you're wondering, where did you just go, Lori? I know. From my basic borders dies, I have some templates in the back of it. I have extra ones, and that way then I can just quickly whip off things like this. And bring in my blue blender pen. You guys are all waited with bated breath to see what I end up coming in with. Some clouds. Ooh, nice, Lori. So good, so good. Okay, and then I think I can just give a little bit of a hint here to the blue. It's quite sharp there, isn't it? Hopefully that'll cover off. And handy that that was still open. A little bit of green. Since I did the top, I'll do the bottom. Coming off the paper onto the paper so that you don't get lines if you're trying to watch for anything good. Okay. Now when I fill it in with these guys, hopefully it's just all smooth sailing. And half of it'll be gone. Do you know what I mean? This is going to cover everything up, I think. It's just supposed to be an easy background. Could you see me looking for those guys? You're like, Lori, they're right there. So I do find sometimes it's hard because these two can be together like that. Now what I'll need maybe is a bow there, because you can see that my mushroom is up high and there's no hill or anything. It's just kind of weird. Move those guys over, him over a little bit. Now, for me, this is going to need to have a little border of something extra. And we definitely need some words to ground this and potentially a bow. Bow right here. He's not going to be the right color. Hang on one second here. I just put a set here. You guys know that I love this blooming phrases, so I'm going to bring that in. And it's going to be just because. Maybe. Just because it's very long. It's perfect. Okay. So I will stamp that in a darker purpley color on a lovely piece of my white. A nice long white piece. Hang on one moment, please. That's long enough. That'll work. And I'm going to do it in, I think, Gorgeous Grape, actually. Oops, doing the grass. Oh, you know what? Berry Burst, maybe. Sorry, just checking here. think Berry Burst will go better. Berry Burst, come along. All right. Oi. So now the Just Because is longer than the thing practically, but let's see what it does here. I have it crookey-eyed. Sorry if I'm off screen. When I put it down, it's not quite straight. The nice thing about the photopolymer, you can stamp it at the top-ish. Am I on screen at all? Sorry. And nice. And I'm going to go cut that off. I don't know if I started that. I think I did. I know I did. Ooh, I still could have done it more. That's okay. I just have to do it again, actually, guys, because it was blurry. The thinner the words, the more careful you have to be when you press down. And I'm going to bring him over a little bit because he was too far over anyways. So you just need to touch him down. You don't need to squash him, or else you end up squashing all those little tiny beans. And I need to zoom out a little tiny bit so you can see what the heck I'm doing here. Bring that in here. Just need to make sure I'm covering that guy up. I'll need to trim it a little tiny bit. So I don't know if I put it all up, if that will make it weird or better. I feel like it's almost better. I can see more of the brown stuff behind. I'm filling up the sky, and this still feels like that grass could still be above, right? So I think that kind of works actually in a weird way. You little guy. Are making me cross. There, that'll work there, okay. And yeah, the grass is there. I can add a little tiny bit of green on the top of it. And just gonna go ahead and do this. And I still want this to be thinner. Fabulous. And then a darker color behind. So quite often black just works nice, period. Might be that Berry Burst is going to be a good color. I'm going to bring over Blackberry Bliss as well. I'm going to do the Berry Burst. How wide is this? Not wide enough, I don't think. Rolls. Hang on one second, I'll be right over there. We'll finish up this card and I can say adieu. Good night, adieu. I have some melon mambo in here, for goodness sake. Okay, so I want this to be, I think at, this is 3 3/4 by 5. So I want this to be just about 4 by 5 1/4. I did it like about a 1/16 shy. Hello, Marley, you are late to the party. You missed all the hesitation I had. Whew, that red is not working with that. Well, that's too bad. Okay, let's see what this blackberry bliss is going to look like. It's interesting, when I step away, it's a little better, but I think this one might be better. Because it's closer to black, basically, hey? Jeez. My red mushrooms are making me cross. Oh, dear. All right. Well, there it is, you guys. You may see me finish this up with Pure On Blackberry Bliss toadstools. Who knows? Who knows how I'll totally correct it. And no, I just wondered if we could put a little bow on here, if it'll tie some things together. Let's see, I think again, that's the craziness there. Oh, wait 1 second. I bet you I have one tie. I do. Let's see if this works. That's a cute little, ooh, he's a double bow. No, that adds a whole nother color in there. Nope. All right. And I don't think we have Blackberry Bliss ribbon. So I would have to color him with something. Try gold just for fun. No. All right. A couple gems replacing the blue. Yeah, I'm wondering about that too. Where'd my white go? You know, from having 42, oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock. I have really been farting around. From having a whole bunch of bases to having none, I think you might be right, Anne. That might be the ticket here. I'm going to be happier. And then a couple gems will be nice. I do kind of like the red and the purple together. Come on, little sweetie. That's a little better, isn't it? It's just missing a kick of something. This is almost too much white. And maybe I don't need it now that I hid that. Now they're floating up in the sky, though. Yeah, I do need this. Much better, I agree. Maybe it needs a white bow. Maybe I could just do a white bow. I got a big fat white bow. He's too fat. One more try. A little cotton one. Just needs a little bit of texture. It's really heavy right here. All right, I'll muse on this, you guys. It's not horrible. It's just not great. A couple gems probably will round it a little tiny bit. We'll see. We'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. I might need some real green grass in there. That might be the ticket. Maybe some greenery, period. I have one little tiny piece here that won't work, but maybe that's what I need, is just some green. I don't know. We'll figure it out. All right, gals, I'm going to let you go. It is 9 o'clock. Thank you for hanging out with me forever and ever. Baby wipes. You want to use baby wipes, your best bet. Just saying. And then just have some fun playing. What colors would you combine together? I can't wait to see what you might do. Baby wipe technique is reinkers and you create your own ink pad. And then you need some solid stamps and away you go to town. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.